If you've been thinking about it and Tiffany's videos been, popping into your feed all the time, and you've been thinking about the back of your heads, like for whatever reason, whether, you needed extra money, you just want to get out of your corporate job or just, kind of be your own boss, I'd say, go for it, even though you don't have experience as a bookkeeper, because the academy has all the resources, right? And then just the community itself. I've never been into a group or Facebook group where mentors would respond to you so quickly. You won't have to worry about waiting 24 to 48 hours to get a response so you can respond back to your client. My 7-year-old daughter, she was probably 5 or 6 at that time. She told me one time, she's like, Mommy, you're always busy and you don't have time for us. That was like a, shot in your heart. It's like, man. And, because it's COVID, so even though we work from home, the downside of that is your computer is like a few walks away. So if you hear an email and it's also in my phone, then, if it's something that you can answer, sometimes I tend to like, just why not go ahead and, get it over with. But things that I didn't realize is, even that small amount of time, it's taking time away from the family. So it's not a 9 to 5 job anymore. It's like pretty much whenever. One of the reasons why I'm trying to look for a side, at that time it was a side hustle, is because to have that extra income. Because as we all know, yeah, your pay is great, but after taxes, it's really nothing. So, but it's so hard to find a part-time job where, it doesn't conflict with your full-time job. So the bookkeeping business was really it for me. Because I can put a stop like between 5 to 9, get the food ready, the dinner ready, get the kids ready, have them go to bed. And then once they're asleep, I can do my other side business, which was the bookkeeping. So I think that was my point of no return, as well as when my daughter told me, Mommy, you're so busy, you don't have time for us. That was definitely, it reminded me of when I told my mom, like, you're always busy, because she's always out, working on a weekend. So having 2 kids, while they're young, I get it. Like right now, I have to work hard in order to build a business, but eventually I want to get to a point where every time the kids have time off from school, that we should be able to go somewhere or, like take a trip, visit all the Disneylands in the world or something. I know it's the right bookkeeping academy to join. The mentors are there to answer your questions, not within 24 hours, but just within hours. That kind of helps with the credibility as you build a business, because if whenever I have questions, I can get back to my client within that same day. Of course, except when it's on the weekend. But even on the weekend, they're very good. So I think that was like the biggest investment for me, because it's so scary to like navigate, be the business owner, be the bookkeeper at the same time, and then just trying to make sure that you provide that client support experience. I was excited for the modules within the Bookkeeping Academy. They're very helpful. It's pretty straightforward and it's easy to follow. I think without the Bookkeeping Academy, I wouldn't know, the tips and tricks, the best practices, why we're doing this. I wouldn't be able to explain those to my clients without the help of the mentors. Definitely extra money. Right now, I'm so eager to leave my corporate job. I'm just waiting, probably because when I had my call with Bill, I think our goal was to 7 grand. So I need 2 more grand. So that's probably about 2 to 3 more clients, depending on what they need. So I'm so close. So my goal for this year is by the end of this year to really leave the corporate job so that I can focus more on growing the business. Because I also want to have a podcast for the business to kind of invite other small businesses, talk about what they do. But at the end of the podcast is to talk about best practices of their financials. What's the importance of bookkeeper or having a bookkeeper, whether they do it themselves or they hire somebody to do the bookkeeping. I'd say give it a shot. If you've been thinking about it and Tiffany's videos been, popping into your feed all the time, and you've been thinking about the back of your heads, like, whether for whatever reason, whether, you needed extra money, you just want to get out of your corporate job or just, kind of be your own boss, I'd say, go for it, even though you don't have experience as a bookkeeper, because the Academy has all the resources, right? From filing your LLC to building the website, or what should be in the website, how to do the bookkeeping, kind of help you also pass the Pro Advisor certification, and then just the community itself. I've never been into a group or Facebook group where mentors would respond to you so quickly. And to me, because I work in the IT world, so I know as an IT business analyst support for the finance department, I know how critical it is that you respond within 24 hours. So you won't have to worry about waiting 24 to 48 hours to get a response so you can respond back to your client, because the mentors are really amazing when it comes to responding to inquiries.